So what I have determined is for this to sit in there, for this to sit, it's going to come this way, and of course, and then down. So this is 6 inches now. We need to make it 4 inches so it can clear like this bracket and the top of the loose spring bracket right here. So we're going to take and cut this down to 4 inches. I've got one set up. So the nice thing, the way this worked out, is my saw is 6 inches wide here, and it cuts right at 2 inches in. So it's like I don't even have to mark it. I just got to make sure I'm staying straight and true with the angle iron. So here we go. Yeah, it helps if you plug these things in. Ooh, we're cutting that. It's unfortunate. So I just realized that I put blocks underneath this so I could cut it. And I realized my blocks are the same width of where my cut is, so I'm actually kind of cutting into the one a little bit. So what we're going to do is, I think this will work. All right, that's better. It'll miss that block. So maybe this will cut a little quicker now. All right, try number 2. Oh yeah, that stuff was getting hot. See, it's cold to the touch. And it's a little warm right at the end there, but I can hold my hand down here. But the shavings in here are pretty hot. Awfully hot. We're gonna dump. Ooh, there was a hole in that glove. That hurt. Ooh, that's pretty warm. And there's a hole in this glove too, I just figured out. All right, round two. Oh, that kind of discolored it a little bit. Oh, oh yeah. It's not a red Milwaukee no more. It's a black. All right, so of course this will have to come out. I'm going to easily take that out now. We obviously got to take that one out, and then these bolts. These 3 bolts and this bolt. All right. Oh yeah. All right. That's gonna go good. I'm gonna put this approximately flush with the end. It's pretty close there. Okay, now if I do that, I have one bolt over here that I ended up not covering. So let's see. Yeah, I might go just a touch. Yeah, we're gonna go there. Trying to decide now. Originally I was thinking of going all the way out flush, and then I could, when I build the hitch on the back, I could utilize this to tie everything together. I think is what I'll do is I'm gonna cut that one, pull the bolts, put it in place, and then I'm gonna get the mock up the hitch and look at the, well, the height ain't gonna matter because it will change, or it won't change just based off of moving this back and forth. So, this is 38 inches. I'm trying to think of what my pickup was to the bottom of the bed. I've measured right previously. I think we are within 2 or 3 inches. Let's push this back. Pull that back to there. I kind of like this because I can get rid of these bolts and put a plate up right to this, weld it, and then maybe put a little diamond patch here to help hold it on. But then just come down into my hitch here. Run these 2 bolts back in. This I'm going to get rid of. I'm going to take the next one, cut it down, and set it in place here, get these bolts out of the way, and then we'll mock up the hitch. So let's go cut this one. All right, it's number 2. Oh, I didn't even put this clamp on. Oh well. While I'm at it, if you would, subscribe, like the video, comment, helps get it all pushed out to more people. We got to add $24.60, I'm gonna call it 5 cents, onto the truck cost for the nuts. So I'm gonna do that now. $20,164 thus far. All right, so it looks as though my new mics that I bought stopped working at this point, so I'm gonna try to give you a little audio here, what's going on. Basically, the short of it is we put these angle irons on the rails, and we're gonna mark out the holes so I can get them drilled, and then these will be the start of the new hitch. I'm going to weld some hitch rails on so that I can pin in a goose ball or put my RV hitch on there. I can swap back and forth to them. So here we're just taking the bolts out. Those are the old bolts that hold the fifth wheel plate in, the commercial fifth wheel plate to the truck. So we're going to take those all out so we can put these rails on, or the angle iron on the frame, and then mark out the holes. That's pretty much all I'm doing here. So I'll go ahead and probably fast forward through most of this until I can get a better, give you a better idea of what's going on. I don't know, without there being audio behind this, it's kind of boring. It's literally just taking bolts out. So let's fast forward. And there's the rails I was just talking about. You can see one's kind of bent up and one's bent down a little bit. We have a remedy to that. You'll see that after a while here, but basically I'm just kind of sliding them back and forth, trying to decide what I want to do, where I want to put them. At this time I only had 2 of them, so my thought process was I had to kind of decide where I wanted them for good, because only having 2 obviously kind of limit me as to where the hitch would end up. But I really wanted to have the ability to move the hitch forward and backwards on the frame, so I could put it towards the back of the axle, which is where it is right now. And then I later kind of had the thought of, if I added another rail closer to the cab, then I could put my hitch in 2 different spots, which I always like to do things that give me more versatility, just more options to create a better situation for whatever's going on. So basically that's what this is, just taking a lot of time and kind of looking at things, measuring things, deciding what exactly I want to do, trying to get everything squared up right and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward again, and you can watch that whole process. second ago there when you saw the truck frame going up and down, that was me playing with the air suspension. I was just making sure the air leveling valve, which is that little rod with the red tape on it right there that you can see kind of in the bottom left corner, that keeps the truck suspension aired up in the right location. And so when the truck is aired down, I had to make sure everything was clear in the new hitch and stuff. So that's what that was. Here you can see I'm taking the mud flap hangers, I guess you'd call them, off, because those are going to be in the way of what we're going to do for a bumper on the very back. When I get those out of the way now, that's what I'm doing. I'm just pulling the bolts, and they're just little clip deals that the mud flaps, you see that square piece there, just a square rod goes down into that and it holds the mud flap over. We're going to be doing something different with that, so I'm getting rid of those, pulling those off, we won't need them. You can see right here, this is where that rail's bent real bad. We got a fun solution to take care of that. A little farmer way. The farmer fix, as I call it. I'm going to take this pin here and see if it won't fit through that slot. I'm pretty sure it won't, but let's see how much we got to bend this thing back. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not really fitting at all. It's about a quarter of the way to go before it fits through there. You can see that. You just got to, normally those just slide right through. You'll wiggle them a little bit maybe, but they generally go through pretty easy. So we'll have to fix that so that all the pins fit in there nice and align up. And here's our farmer fix. And we got audio for this, so I'll let you back to it. can see, I went a little overboard on the paint. I get impatient at times. I know I'm gonna have to take, and I'm gonna take all of that off. We painted the top corners, the top and down 4 inches for this angle iron to go on here. And then it's gonna bolt into existing holes. So I wanted to make sure that was painted. Obviously same thing on this side. And I started putting the paint down. I'm like, oh, I really like how this looks. And I'm like, well, if I go a little bit lower, and I just didn't stop. Now the whole thing is blue. There's dirt under there, and it needs to be wire wheeled. But once these angle irons pieces are in, we can get our hitch all welded together, welded up, bolted on, and whatnot. And then when I actually go to paint the frame, then I don't have to pull the angle iron off this hitch, my hitch setup. I don't have to pull that off. I'll just paint right to the bottom of where it'll go, which is like 4 inches. That's why I cleaned that area real well, primed it really good for the blue paint. So, but I don't know. It looks about as good as you can get with a rattle can, so it'll look great for 50 feet and 50 miles an hour. I like it. It's coming together. So what I've decided is I'm going to put this one on the far back, right? Is that what I'm doing? Yeah. Yep, so I'm going to put this one on the far back. This one will go, obviously, wherever it's got to go for the hitches to pin in. And then if I ever wanted, I can add another one here. So instead of the hitch being here, it could go here, which is a little bit closer to center. It'll be forward of center a little bit. But this way, I can build something for a four-wheeler to be on the front, and then my camper can hook onto the back. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Or if I build something, the four-wheeler could go on sideways, I'd only need 4 or 5 feet, and that'd be way easier to load and unload. Man, I wish I wouldn't have thought of that. We're going to do this. So we got, I squared it up about as best as I can. And we got 4 3/8 there. We got 4 3/8 there. So then go ahead and probably just run a tack, run a little bead here and here. Then I'll put the hitch on, put that one in place, square it up, tack that in. I'd really like to find some more rails and put another one up there so I could basically, so these two pieces are welded across real good. But let's start with this. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to tack this on, or probably just weld it. and then I'll bolt it later for extra security. And then we'll do that one. So I'm gonna turn the radio back on and put you on fast forward. Well, truck moves. That's good. Wonder how many holes I put in the airline. Never said I was the brightest bulb on the tree. Alright, I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm hoping my cardboard idea worked. There's just a tiny bit of space in there, it looks like, so I think it might have. We'll see. That slides in there real nice, so that's good. Double check the pins. Nice. That works. But on this one, I'm going to do 4. I'm going to go down through here and then in an inch, 2 inches. Actually, I'll come in 3 inches, 3.5. Put 2 more there and here. And then I'll take and cut this off. Here we have the truck frame right here, so I'm not going to drill down through that, but I'll put 2 probably right here on both sides. With this and the weld, that ain't ever going nowhere. And I'll pick up 2 more of these, and I'll put 1 back there, so I can either use this spot or this spot. And if I really wanted, things are coming along. I kind of want to put the camper hitch on, really. Or I could hook this up, lift this whole thing off of here, push it over that way. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. See if my theory works. I think it's still a little snug. I wouldn't want that any tighter than what it is, I'll tell you that. Yeah, that's like perfect. Definitely wouldn't want it any tighter. I'm glad I did that. Now, the question is, I want to lift this back here. So here's the hitch, all painted up and installed with the new fenders are on, and those hook up right through the hitch, through that angle iron. And there was no way I was going to take this all apart. So let's get into why it's here. All right, so basically, long story short, I dumped all the footage. We had a family vacation down to North Carolina. It was like a family reunion type vacation. Went down there and I booked a charter with a boat that was on Wicked Tuna, Outer Banks. But out of excitement of wanting to make darn sure I got footage of that on my phone and that I wasn't gonna run out of storage, I dumped everything I had, almost everything I had on my phone, thinking, probably 80% thinking that it was all backed up. Yeah, it wasn't backed up. I found that out the hard way. So once again, lost footage. So basically, I'm just gonna go through with what I did, when I did what I did, before I did what I did, so that you can't see what I did when I did what I did. Got that? I'm a little sore about it still, but it is what it is, and it's way too much work to take it back off, to put it back on just to video it. So yeah, you just get the quick rundown. So I got this frame all built. I got these welded here. I've still got to punch some bolts down through to bolt it in as well. And then once I got it all painted, I brought it in here. I lowered it down. I had to take and put a piece of wood on each side and hit it down with a maul or a 8-pound sledgehammer. It was a little tighter than when I originally had kind of tacked it up, and I think from welding it so much, it just kind of tweaked in a little bit, these sides. That's my guess. I don't know. But it is a little bit tighter than what I wanted, but it is what it is. I'm just going to deal with it. We got the fenders, the minimizer fenders, bolted right through this angle iron, that's the big reason why I wasn't going to take it all back off and then recorded doing it again. But we got those set up. And as you can see here, I've just got some lights mocked in there. I think they're looking pretty cool. We got that one there is hooked up. We got all these bolts. All the bolt holes are filled and tightened down good and tight. And then I'll show you what I'll put the gooseneck up here in the RV hitch to show you what that looks like. Here we go, just like that. That leveling valve that's there, that's got to be adjusted, so that'll go down more out of the way. That's how that one goes, and of course we got the pins. Now that that's done, so we're just going to put it on the back here for simplicity. That is slightly heavy. Of course, we got to lift that up. Well, there goes the paint. But what do you expect when I use a rattle can? And there's the RV hitch. It's a little tighter than I was hoping. This, I think we're going to paint blue. Wherever you see orange, I'll take and paint it blue so it matches the theme, matches the frame. The black, I'm going to leave black. This will pivot forward, backwards, side to side, and it's on airs. It's on airbags too. So the nice thing about the semi, I can just pull my air chuck out and air it up to what it needs to be. But yeah, so that's that.